right up next to the old tree here. House set probably right in there. And I got a signal here out of a hole that's probably 6 inches deep. I think I've got a Cohen, pretty sure I do, but I don't know what it is. No, it's not either. It's flat button. You can see where the shank was right there on that side. Well, that's really what I'm after. I'll take it. I'll just tell you the truth, boys. I'm getting tired of filming buttons. That's a nice one right there. Shank is broke off. That's a little thin one right there. What'd that ring up, do you remember?
1208.
Yeah. And that's because of the thinness. If it were thick,
yeah.
I had one today ring up 1241.
Yeah.
But it's a thick button. That's a good find. Right here, I thought I had a saddle strap guide whenever I first looked at it. The back was like that, but it's not. I'm not sure what that is. If any of you guys know, well, leave a comment down below. It's all brass. Not sure. This one here was a little bit scratchy, and you can see it right there. I think it's probably a button. Let's get it out and see. Yeah, that's what it is. It's another flat button. I think the shank was back there on it. Sure do. Anyway, that's a good find. I started to live dig this. It is another token, and I found a token similar to this. This is Chappel. It was a store in Monroe County. I'll have to get this one here cleaned up. The last one that I found didn't have this serrated edge, and that's been hit here in the middle. Maybe by a plow or something, I don't know. But that's a good find. This piece that I found is actually a repurposed 25-cent Chappel token from Blythe, Kentucky. That was a store just across the river back in the day. And this token has been made into a toy that's called a Whirligig, or a buzzsaw. Here it is compared to another token that I found on this same site. As you can see, the sawtooth pattern has been cut into the token, as well as the holes in the center. Whirligig toys have a long history and were made of hammered lead musket balls or old coins, and were very popular during the colonial times. In fact, they were mentioned in English literature as early as 1686. But their history goes back a lot further than that. Native American examples have been found made of bone and stone that date back as far as 500 BC, where they were used by adults ceremonially to call the wind, and by children as toys. Whirligigs are constructed by centering an object at the midpoint of a string with two looped ends, and then winding the string while holding the ends stationary. The object is whirled by alternately pulling and releasing the tension on the string and causing the whirligig to spin. The sawtooth pattern cut into this token would have caused it to produce an impressive loud whizzing or buzzing sound when it reached full speed. Modern versions of this toy are often seen today in craft shops and souvenir stores in the southern Appalachian Mountains. I can only imagine some child, or adult for that matter, playing with this toy for hours at this site along the banks of the Cumberland River. What a find. This one here came out of that corner right there, and it's still in that clod. Let's see what we got. I don't know. I don't know if it's I think it's a button, but I don't know. Let me get it cleaned up. I'll leave a description on this clip. I think it's a button. It's pretty thin. Anyway, it's a good find either way. I got one in this hole right here. I haven't touched it yet. I don't know if that's a button or if that's money. Let's get it out and see. I believe that's a penny of some kind. Let me get it cleaned off and I'll see what I can find on it here. That hole is probably maybe 6 inches deep. And I got a fired round ball. That looks like a 40 or a 44. Don't know. It's been fired. Hadn't found too many round balls up here. A lot of flat buttons, but not a lot of round balls. But I'll add that one to the collection. Out of that hole right there, I've got a little cuff button. And the shank is broke off of it. That looks like it's Tombac. I sure believe that it is. Little Tombac cuff. That's 1700s. I like that. Out of that hole right there, and you can hear that CTX a chirping there this morning. I got the sensitivity turned way up on it. I got a wheat here. Get out here in the sun. I don't know on a date on it. I'll check and leave it in the description on this clip. But that's another Cohen. Trying to shield the wind again today. It's windy. Got a button right here. Let's see if it's got a shank. No. No, it's broke off. It's got two little points sticking up there. Just the back end of it broke off. Has that got silver dip on it? I don't know. Anyway, that's a good find. That hole's probably 6 inches deep. There's a button there. Is that a Tombac? Shanks broke off of it. I don't think it's a Tombac. I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's just a brass button. But it's another flat button. Shot a little squeaker right here. It's a flat button. Shank is broke off of it. Got a little green on it right there. Can't tell if it's going to have a back mark or not. But that's a good find. I'll take it. I want to do this week's shout out to Indy Chief 78. You see his channel there on your screen. This guy makes some good finds and he makes some good videos, and he likes to hunt these brushy areas like me and Jeff do. So check him out, Indy Chief 78. Like, subscribe, and share, and be sure and tell him that 7 sent you. Out of that hole right there, I don't know if these go together or not, but they're out of the same hole. That's a
suspender clip, you can tell, part of one, but then so is this. I've never seen a contraption like that. I would have thought that this was a piece of suspender clip that was broken. Does that latch on there? No, that wouldn't go on that. That's a clip right there by itself. Maybe this is a trash pile. Right here, it's right next to where the house is, and it's just right over from the tree. I guess they could have thrown some trash out right here. Now that one looks like Tombac right there. It's broke. It's broke. It's got a shank though. But it is Tombac. Huh. Man, I tell you what, those are brittle. But they sure do come out clean, especially in this black dirt. I pulled a nail out of that hole. You can see the imprint there at the top. And then the button is right there. It's a cuff. Don't know if it's got a shank or not. No, it looks like the shank's going to be broke off of it. I'm going to lose that with these gloves on. I can't do nothing with them. Good and green on the front though. Another button. That hole's probably 6 inches deep right there. And I've got another Harmonica Reed. This one's black. I just wonder if that's been in a fire. It's just the end of it. There's the 2 holes, and then you just had one slot. I bet you that's been in a fire right there. But another Harmonica Reed. Out of that hole right there, this one here was a little bitty squeaker. I mean, I just barely heard that one. Shank is broke off of it, but it's a flat button. I almost didn't find that one, but I did. Right there, center screen, I believe I've got a flat button. Looks good on that side. Yeah, it's got a shank and everything. Sure does. That's a nice button right there. Coming over some of these spots already hunted, just listening for those little weak signals. This one here was pretty scratchy. Good find though. I've got another button out of that hole, and I believe it's going to be Tombac. Sure looks it on the front there. That's what it is. Tombac button. Still got a shank on it. Dropped it. That's a nice button right there. I like that one. Out of that hole right there, I've got a piece, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not. Try to focus in on it. That is a knob off of a wick adjuster right there. See the square hole there in the middle. It's got some writing on it. I got my loop out, but I can't tell what it is. Maybe when I get it cleaned up at home, it'll have a patent date and maybe a name on it. That's a little squeaker there. That hole right there is probably, I don't know, about 6 inches deep, I'd say. And this is the first ball button that I found on this set. The shank is broke off of the back of it, but it's in nice shape other than that. That's a sweet little button right there. There you go, Hornbush. Little 31 buck ball right there. I like finding those.